Hey guys, Theme Park Mark here, and I am back at my favorite park in the world, Europa Park in Germany. I'll be here for pretty much the whole week, kicking off a 3-week trip here in Europe, kind of visiting some of my favorites from last August in the Netherlands and Belgium, as well as some new parks in the UK, some bucket list parks will be coming along later on in the trip. But for today, I'm going to stick with Europa Park, and it's 14 roller coasters. I'm going to try and get through all of them today. Weather's looking a little miserable right now. It's about 50 degrees and rainy, but the forecast does say that the rain is going to clear up within the next few hours, hopefully, so I can get on some coasters. Kind of taking it a little bit slow here this morning because of the rain, but I'll get going once the rain kind of clears up, and we'll start pushing through all 14 roller coasters, see if I can get all of them done in one day. It is a Sunday, should be fairly busy. We'll see what we can get done, and I'm excited to take you guys along with me for the ride as always. So let's giddy up. Oh, so good to be back. Europa Park. Hello, Silverstar. So good to be back. I checked into the hotel last night around 6:15-ish. Saw the park was open until 7:30, so rushed on over here. Got 2 rides in on Silverstar and a night ride on Voltron. See if I can get some more night rides tonight. Not sure what time the parks close. They usually advertise closing time of at least 6 p.m. and they'll extend it on days where it's busier, which is very good. All right, let's head on in Europa Park. So back. Celebrating a 50th this year. Get on in. Don't really have much of a plan other than just to ride all the coasters today. I might start at Silverstar, or I might take that little mini train over to the back of the park and do like Wodan and Bluefire, maybe Poseidon, since it's kind of raining a little bit right now anyway. That might be the better plan. When I was here last night, they had a blue carpet all around here. And they had confetti all over the ground. Big celebration. Nothing right now, but maybe later, I don't know. Love walking through this entrance plaza though. Yeah, I think I'll head on the little mini train to the back of the park and start with Poseidon and work my way back up towards, I guess this is the front of the park, I don't know. There's multiple entrances anyway, so this is what I consider the front of the park. Well, let's head in and get on the first coaster of the day. Well, as you know, my plans always constantly change. Train's sitting there at the station. No activity right now, but I'm sure it'll be open later. So maybe I'll just head to Silverstar instead. So it's right up here and around the corner, or maybe I'll start with the eurosat, Can. It's an indoor coaster, so that's probably a good one to start with, I'd say, now that I think about it. So yeah, I think I'll start with eurosat if it's open. All right, eurosat Can coaster. It's in the big Epcot-like dome. It's a Mack Rides indoor coaster. With this challenge, I'm probably not going to do single rider line. We'll just do the main queue and see how fast I can get through all these coasters today. It's coaster number 1, Can coaster. It's my first time seeing the main queue. I usually do single rider. All right, let's have a ride. Eurosat. I'm not sure how much you're going to see on the POV. It's really dark. smooth indoor family coaster. Nothing particularly thrilling, but still a good ride. Up next, I think I'm gonna take a quick little break to let the weather kind of clear up a little bit. I'll continue on with more coasters. 1 out of 14 done.
4 hours later.
Well, it has been quite a while since my last update. First off, I think the jet lag finally caught up to me this morning because I was really dragging. And after Eurosat Can coaster, I went and watched the Voltron 4D show, which was actually kind of cool. Just wanted to get inside. The cold was starting to get to me. Even though I do have a jacket on, I'm kind of bundled up. It's just, I think, the jet lag and kind of the lack of rest over the last few days getting out here finally hit me. So after that, I went back out to the car, drove back to the hotel, took a little nap, got refreshed, feeling a lot better now. But then also had to deal with some rental car issues with the maintenance surface maintenance window popping up. So I have to try and take care of that at some point this week, because I do not want to have the car break down on me while I'm driving around the UK and the Benelux next week and the week after. So it's been probably about 3 hours or so, but I'm heading back in, feeling refreshed. The weather kind of cleared up a little bit too, so I'm going to continue the coaster runs. I'm probably going to get some lunch first in here, and we'll continue with probably this one, Silverstar, and then kind of continuing on. We'll do as many coasters as I possibly can today, and finish up the rest on a later date, probably tomorrow. So let's head on back into Europa Park. As I head on back in here, I do want to make it clear that I'm not complaining about the weather. I do realize it is end of March and that the weather is going to be cold. I was mentally prepared for it, and it was going to be cold and wet, rainy. So not the ideal time to come here. I think if I were, all things considered, probably would have booked the trip maybe late April or towards the end of April, maybe early May. Because I feel like that's probably when the weather's a lot better. Crowds are probably light then too. So that's probably the best time to go. Just couldn't work it into the schedule, have other commitments, but I still wanted to make this trip. So that is why I'm here at the end of March when it's still kind of cold. And I'm prepared for it, just need some extra rest, that's for sure. Mentally prepared for it, I would say. California boys not used to cold weather. Anyways, that's enough of my rambling. Let's head on and ride some coasters, shall we? In the Italian plaza here next to the ghost train, there's a little hidden passageway back here, and you kind of take by the Voltron 4D theater and go over to Silverstar. Now I was actually here last night. I checked into the hotel probably about 6 o'clock in the evening and saw that the park was still open for a bit. So I decided, why not? I'll pop in. Got some rides on Silverstar, nighttime rides, and my first night ride on Voltron. So I'll put that in right here. just great night rides, and I was feeling great last night too. It's just after getting some sleep, didn't quite get enough, I guess, because definitely was dragging this morning. But feeling a lot better now. So let's go have a ride on Silverstar. So we walk back through this little secret pathway here, which kind of cuts through and around the side of Eurosat Can coaster. Alright, 10-minute wait for Silverstar. That's gotta be almost walk on, because it was posted 15 minutes last night and it was pretty much a walk on. So let's have a ride on Silverstar. I do prefer the back rows on this, because you do get some crazy ejector air. As much as I always love a front row ride on a B&M Hyper, back rows are just as great. So I might try for that, or see how long the front row line is. I'm in Silverstar. Line's pretty short for the front row, so I decided to do this first and then maybe do a back row ride, because it is close to walk on. So let's have a ride on Silverstar front row.
Bon, fini la rigolade. Allez, fini la rigolade. On passe aux choses sérieuses. Oh putain.
Good front row center ride there. There's the operations here, just fantastic as always. Running multiple trains, are very fast, efficient. And they do a good job filling out the seats too, like without a wrangler. Like it's the guys who are checking the restraints that are making sure 4 people are lined up per row. So they're trying to fill as many seats as they possibly can. So fantastic. I'm gonna go back around for a back row ride now. That's an amazing back row ride. 9 rows on it, so I think that's probably why you get some crazy ejector air going over those floater airtime hills. The layout wise, I think it's very similar to Nitro, which it's a B&M Hyper that you probably do want to copy, because in my opinion that is the best B&M Hyper. That has more floater airtime I think than Silverstar, and the setting is a little bit better, kind of going through the woods there at Great Adventure. Here it's over a parking lot, so I kind of got to deduct a little bit for it, but it's still a fantastic ride. And yeah, I definitely prefer the back row on it, for sure. I'm gonna continue on. I think the coaster challenge is pretty much over with. I'm just gonna kind of take my time, go through whatever coasters I can do here today. Whatever I don't do, got a few more days. Probably gonna ride this Wild Mouse next, just kind of go in order here around the park, see what we can get done. They've advertised the park closing at 7 o'clock tonight, so they've extended a full hour, which is great. I think last night it was 7:30, I want to say. So I was able to get some night rides. Might be able to get one night ride in as last ride of the night. I'll probably make it Voltron again. But let's ride this Wild Mouse next, which is not terrible from what I remember. Not great, I'm not a big fan of Wild Mouse coasters, but it is a coaster, so let's ride it. Forgot this path kind of snaked around, so I think the bobsled's actually a little bit closer. Let's do this first and then the Wild Mouse. I'm blanking on the names for some reason. Matterhorn Blitz, it's a Wild Mouse. I think it's Mack. Most of the coasters here are Mack rides because this is a Mack owned park. And then over here is the bobsled. Somewhere over here, another Mack bobsled. So, in fact, I think the only coasters that aren't Mack, if I'm not mistaken, is Silverstar, of course, a B&M, and Wodan, which is a GCI. Everything else is Mack in this park. Let's see if I can find that entrance for the bobsled. Well, thwarted by the bobsled, so I'll do the Wild Mouse instead, Matterhorn Blitz. I'll go check the bobsled again afterwards. Pretty sure I heard it testing at least, so it might open pretty soon. This was me earlier after my first visit to the park this morning, and it was time to get up and come here again. They all seem very excited to watch us go to our doom. Hopper. Do love the theming in here. That was about a 10-minute wait, not bad at all. I'm gonna go for a front row ride here. Well, technically row 3, but there's 2 cars, so I think I did back row last year, so it's nice to get a front row for once. Let's ride and hold on for dear life.
C'est quoi ça? Tour de la terreur. Ah, j'ai pas compris l'histoire là. T'as puté là? Oh merde. Là ça me sonne un coup. Oh, ça merde. Oh, wesh. Ça cadavre quand même hein. Oh la vache. Oh non. Oh la violence.
as Wild Mouse coasters, it's not terrible. The curves at the top there aren't janky. There was a sharp break at the end, but otherwise it was actually fairly smooth. Still not the best Wild Mouse I've been on by far, which that would be the one at Michigan's Adventure. I don't know if you saw from the footage there at the top of the lift hill, there was no one on Schweitzer Bob-on. They're still testing it. So I'm gonna go to the Greek area, have a ride on Poseidon and Pegasus. See them both going up the lift hill right now. Nice timing. There's also a mat house here, Cassandra, that gropes you. Don't really feel like getting groped today, but I'm sure I'll visit that mat house some point on this trip. Here's Poseidon, Mack water coaster with no one on it. So let's go back to Pegasus. This is a family coaster, kind of tucked away in the back here. Pegasus. Hopefully not too long of a wait. I'm guessing not. It looks pretty quiet back here. Let's have a ride on this family coaster. Let's go for a row 3 ride. It's just a solid family coaster. Didn't want to sit in the front row because that zero car is kind of obtrusive. So I got row 3. It's about a 15-minute wait, 1 train. Looks like the brake run might be long enough to hold another train, so maybe the second train is under maintenance right now or something, I don't know. But it didn't need to be running 2 trains with such a short wait. I head on back out here, and we'll go to Poseidon next, the water coaster, which it seems to be every other train is running empty, so I'm assuming there's going to be a short wait for this. We'll see. Let's have a ride on Poseidon. This looks like no wait at all. I remember this being a pretty decent ride. Reminded me a bit of Journey to Atlantis, SeaWorld Orlando, minus the extensive dark ride sections. But you do have like a little outdoor scenic area at the start there. And a little bit of a coaster section. And a drop and a splash. Hopefully I can get near the back of the boat because I don't want to get soaked. It's so quiet in here. Yeah, I'm gonna try for a back row ride. Poseidon, let's go. Let's do this. This is coaster, what, 5 of 14 so far? Not too shabby. Goodbye, Silverstar. Definitely got a bit wet on that second drop, for sure. Poseidon. To dry the glasses off here. Hopefully I didn't ruin anything. I'm gonna continue on. We'll check to see if bobsled is open, Schweitzer bob on. If not, continue on. I think Voltron is up next after that in the Croatia area. So let's start heading that way. All right, just like the Shikra spin dry cycle at Busch Gardens, Tampa, after riding that log flume, I'm going the Voltron spin dry cycle here at Europa Park. Easily the best coaster here. It is in my top 5. Just a fantastic ride all around. Now, I should be able to enjoy this one because last year I had tweaked my back at Terran and Phantasialand, and so I had to ride very defensively on Voltron. Back's feeling a lot better, 100%. So we can do a arms up ride on Voltron, which I already did last night. I'm definitely gonna do more rides on this. Let's do the single rider line for this. I know I said I was gonna do that. I'm not gonna do that for the coaster challenge, but kind of abandoned that. So just gonna do what I can here today. I'll probably get a couple rides here in Voltron before I'm moving on.
Here and now, welcome to the electric age! cabinet technique malgré les risques.
Back-to-back rides there on this Max Striker coaster, Voltron Nevera. Just a phenomenal ride. Got a kind of a middle seat ride there on row 3 on the first ride, and then the back corner. Typically with single rider, you're pretty much always in the left seat or the left middle. Don't get to pick the rows, obviously, there. In the regular queue, you don't get to pick the rows either because they have a moving loading platform for efficiency. So you can't just like line up at a gate and get a certain row. Which, I mean, I don't have that much of a problem with it. It'd be nice if there was like a front row line, but it doesn't always have to be. It's understandable. This thing is just relentless. You get that little turntable section to kind of catch your breath. And it's just inversion. They have run so many trains on this too, that they're kind of like interacting with each other throughout the ride. I do feel like my outer seat was a little bit better ride than the middle seat. The middle seat kind of shook me up a little bit. But the outer seat ride was fantastic on the back row. Definitely looking forward to getting more rides on this. Here there's another striker coaster coming to Austria very soon, so I'm definitely gonna have to prioritize heading out there at some point. It's just a phenomenal ride. Super comfortable restraints too. And it's nice to actually be able to ride it with my hands up. Although nobody else seems to be riding hands up. That was a few people, I guess. Anyway, I'm gonna take a little break, have some dinner, and we'll continue on with, I think, Euromir is next, and just see what I can get through here in the last few hours of the day. Weather turned out to be very nice in the afternoon. So that's what's coming up next. Also forgot to mention there was a new Tesla Coils song. It was new to me anyway. I'll put that in. And just like before, you kind of have to put everything in a locker, any loose articles, even like phones, wallets, keys, everything. Can't have anything loose in the pockets, even with zipper pockets. So they all go in a locker. You don't go through metal detection like you do at like, say, Universal and Sunrise at Cedar Point. But I would assume that if they see something bulky in your pockets, they'll probably pull you off the ride. So just put everything in a locker. They do allow chest-mounted GoPros and, of course, the camera glasses. So if you want to record safely, do that and put your phone in the locker. I just had a burger from the Russian place here, right next to Euromir. Max spinning coaster. You can already hear the music. Dun, 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 dun. The hot rumor is that this might be on its way out pretty soon. I think one of the Mac people said that there's going to be a new ride coming to this area in the next 4 to 5 years, so people just automatically assume that this was going to be taken out, but nothing's been confirmed as of yet. So I'll enjoy some rides while I can. Don't want to leave it up to the end of the season and then have them abruptly shut it down with no announcement whatsoever. Oh wait, this isn't Six Flags, sorry about that. Let's have a ride on Euromir. I know it's practically a walk on too. Euromir.
ja, was gratis. Weil.
Euromir. Pretty smooth ride for the most part. A couple janky transitions towards the end there. It's actually very enjoyable, despite the obnoxious music. I'm going to continue on. That's 7 out of 14 done on the coaster front. I think I'm going to do some dark rides. Certainly is possible, of course, I think, to do all 14 coasters in one day if that's all you focus on. There's so much more to this park than just the coasters. So I'll probably save the remaining coasters for tomorrow. I think Slicer Bob-on did reopen, so I'll probably head back to that at least. Get right on that so we get 8 out of 14 done today, and then get the remaining 6 tomorrow. So I'm gonna do a dark boat ride next. That was probably my favorite dark ride here at Europa Park, and that is Piraten in Batavia, which is, I believe, just around the corner if I remember correctly. So I'm gonna head there next. Yep, just around the corner, Piraten in Batavia. Such a fantastic ride. Love the smells in it, love the scenes, great animatronics. Just an overall fantastic ride. Only 10-minute wait, so let's have a ride. Of course, me being a huge fan of Pirates of the Caribbean at Disneyland, that being pretty much my favorite ride there. Kind of partial to this one, which is also very good.
So wird er die Macht erlangen, all seine Feinde niederzustellen. Doch nie darf er zulassen, dass der Feuertiger ist. Kannst du dir helfen, den Tempel zu finden?
Such a great ride. So many similarities between that and Pirates of the Caribbean, of course. And I guess it's a way for them to kind of bring Pirates of the Caribbean to people here in Europe, which is fantastic. I just can't help myself. I'm gonna go for another ride here. About an hour and a half left in the park day. So I think the plan is to do Piraten and Batavia again, twice your bob on if that's open. And then I'll finish up at Voltron for maybe a night ride for the last ride of the night. Literally 5 minutes later and it's a walk-on. Must have been a show or something that got out. Such a great ride. So that front row that time, so I'll put it in that POV instead of the row 3 ride that I got first off. And yeah, the line just definitely cleared out because it became a walk-on there. So there must have been a show or a parade or something nearby that just got done. Everybody kind of flocked over to it. And then that being such a high capacity ride with those big boats, kind of worked right through the crowd very quickly. Yeah, so next up, Schweitzer Bob-on. I've talked about it enough. It's gone down, been down for most of the day, but last I checked it was back up. So I'm gonna make my way back over there and have a ride. And here's Food Loop. Tried that out last time. Food and drinks come down to you on a roller coaster track. The food is actually very good, so definitely gonna have to have a meal there at some point. And also look into that restaurant over by Piraten and Batavia there. At the end of the ride, you go by a restaurant. And the food smelled amazing too, so definitely gonna have to try that out as well. And over here is the England area, which is, well, I'll be there next week in the real UK. But over there is 3 Piglets. You can get some fish and chips. So yeah, lots of good restaurants here. A lot of good options. I'm not even sure if I'm walking in the right direction because the center of the park is kind of a maze to me. Don't really go through here that much. But back to Switzerland. Looks like it is running. Let's have a ride on this Mack bobsled. Let's see what country I represent. Let's go for a front row ride here. Front car ride, I guess. It's gonna be France, where it was yesterday. Schweitzer Bob-on. It's a decent Mack bobsled. I feel like the one at Park Asterix is still way better. But it's solid. That represents France there. And that is 8 out of 14 coasters done today. So I'm going to head towards Voltron next. There's about an hour left before the park closes, so I'll see how many rides I can get on that. If I get a front row ride, I'll put that in. Otherwise, I'm sure I'll probably get front row at some point on this trip. It's a 1 in 4 chance. We'll see. Voltron, finish off the day with the night ride. and I guess the sunset ride maybe. See how many you can squeeze in an hour. It's funny how well I know my way around between all the big coasters. In the center of the park where there's not many big coasters or any at all that I can think of, I always get lost there, making wrong turn after wrong turn. I know my way to Voltron, I know my way to Silverstar, I know my way to Wodan and Bluefire. Everything else, figure it out at some point. Just shooting dark right here, Aventure Atlantis. Probably do that tomorrow. So I'm sure I'll be back for yet another ride and another ride and another ride on Voltron. Let's see how many we can get done in an hour here. Oh, it's definitely closed right now. Whole crowd waiting around outside. Figured I'd get some ice cream while I wait. It did warm up this afternoon. It's not cold right now, so here a little scoop of ice cream while we wait. They're sending test trains, so maybe this will reopen pretty soon. Anytime I'm not gonna stand around in a crowd and wait for this to open, instead I'm just gonna chill, literally, have some ice cream. 5 minutes later, everyone's in. Ice cream scoop done. I'm gonna hit up the single rider line. See if I can get 2 or 3 rides in on this amazing coaster. Got 3 rides in. Park is now closed. Did a front row ride there in the middle. That was the POV you saw there. Also did a Twilight back row ride here just a moment ago. There are very few coasters in the world that will leave me breathless at the end of them. This is one of them. Steel Vengeance, another. Iron Gwazi, another. Yeah, I'm always out of breath on the brake run there at the end. Just such an amazing ride. Voltron. So as I head on out of here, that brings it into day 1 here at Europa Park. Even with the sluggish start and a nap and dealing with rental car stuff, still got a lot done here this afternoon. 5 rides on Voltron, 2 on Silverstar. 8 of the 14 coasters done. I'll have a lot more to come tomorrow, like this one, Shooting Dark Ride, Cassandra, the 2 flat rides in Spain, Voltarium, Snorri Touring. Still a lot more to come, plus the 6 coasters that I didn't do today, which includes Bluefire, Wodan, Arthur, and a few others. So a lot more to come for day 2, so stay tuned for that. As always, thanks so much guys for watching. Stick around to the very end. And hopefully you guys can catch day 2 in the next vlog, which will be tomorrow for me, but probably a week for you, unless you're a member of the channel, in which case you'll get the videos all at once. So with that, signing off from day 1, Europa Park. Take care, guys. See you guys tomorrow. So beautiful at night here. Reminds me of Main Street, Disneyland.